So for this month's tech tip, we wanted to go over round balers and just do visual inspections of some of the things maybe you could be looking for that would alleviate any downtime. Because we know the window to get hay baled and everything is pretty tight at times, especially early in the season when you got a lot of rain coming in. So we want to do anything we can to help you out with alleviating those issues. So just being on this side of the baler, just some of the things we would look at would be checking out your sprockets just to make sure there's no rounding, maybe some uneven wear on the sides. Then checking the chains, making sure those chains are staying tight because you want them jumping the cogs or even falling off, creating downtime for you. So we're going to step over to the other side of the baler and we're going to take a look at the oiler system and some of the other sprockets as well. So we moved over to the other side of the baler and we're just looking this over again. A few chain, or just a chain over here, and then sprockets, just doing the visual on that as well. Some balers do not have an oiler system. This one does. The main thing behind this is just making sure that reservoir is always full, just so when you do need to oil your chains, it's there ready to go. That way preventing uneven wear and all that in the chains. So now we're going to step over to the belts. We're just going to do a visual inspection of those as well. More or less it's just looking at the sides of it for any fraying, maybe look at the back side as well for any cracking or maybe even some breaks. Just a visual inspection of that. Even looking at your splices, we got a splice right here. Just making sure there's no splice pins or anything's pulling out of the belt itself that would create a tear or initially create some downtime for you. One of the things maybe even to think about is like where you got these splices, if you do get a new belt or maybe you're resplicing it, instead of maybe having a square edge, maybe cutting it a little bit on an angle. That way it doesn't catch something inside the baler and maybe tear that belt. If you are getting into where you're doing a replacement of some of the belts or maybe pins, we do recommend replacing the pins every year or 1,000 bales. If you get into where you're resizing the belts or looking to replace belts, normally say about 5 years or 5,000 bales. So kind of give you an overview of that. The other thing maybe to keep in mind is if you are replacing them, there are different texture styles of these belts as well. So kind of keep that in mind if you are looking to replace those. So the last thing we're going to look at here is your net wrap cut quality. Is it cutting clean or has it got some extra frays in it? If that's happening, if you're starting to see frays or it isn't cutting the way you want it to, check that blade underneath just to make sure it is sharp. If it needs to be replaced, replace it. Maybe even checking the brake tension on here. If you know how to do that, that's perfect. If you're not sure or you don't trust yourself to be able to do that, always give your local service tech a call and make sure that's getting adjusted correctly for you. That way everything, when you're putting that belt, when you finally get that bale finished and you're ready to wrap it, at least you got a nice quality bale sitting there out in the field for you. So once you've gone around your round baler and found anything that needs to be fixed on it, keep in mind Sloan Express has a vast array of products available to help with that fix. Anywhere from the baler belts to the chains, getting into even your splice tools if you need just to resplice that belt, pickup tines, and even the poly baler bands. If you have any other questions on products or want to check it out, you can go to our website at sloanex.com or call us at 800-934-9777.